Good morning, Ghana. Thank you so much for being a part of the show this morning. We're talking food security here on the show. So if you're just joining in, you made the right choice. We're about to have a very, very important conversation because this time we need to make sure we're taking care of ourselves. And joining me for the conversation this morning is dietitian Nee. But before we get into his conversation or the conversation with him, I want to say a big thank you to Telecel and the GC brand. Now, your money deserves a safe at home. With Telecel Cash, you're protected every step of the way. No risks, no worries, no long stories, just peace of mind. Dial star 110 hash or download the Telecel Play app now for safe, secure transaction. Telecel Cash at the safer choice. Now, for the parents or the new mothers or, mothers of babies here, get in here. Now, looking for the perfect pack to keep your baby refreshed, clean, and smelling delightful. Discover Baby Boy and Baby Girl, your ultimate baby care solution. Each kit includes baby powder, a cream, pomade, head to toe shampoo, and a wash, a lotion, oil, cologne, bar soap, and a bonus sponge with every purchase. Now, every item is meticulously crafted for healthy, beautiful, and soft baby skin. Choose blue for baby boys and pink for baby girls. Now, baby boy, baby girl, kids, everything you need to keep your baby happy and well cared for. Available now for loving parents just like you, okay? The GC brand, it is all about you. Now, for our big conversation today, like I said earlier, today we're talking, of course, health and wellness, and we're discussing rainy season food safety tips. And joining us for the conversation is dietitian Nee. Now, during the rainy season, changes in weather conditions can affect food storage, hygiene, and the risk of food contamination. No, this conversation with dietitian Nee will focus on simple food safety practices, proper food handling, storage tips, healthy eating habits, and how individuals and families can protect themselves from foodborne illnesses while maintaining a balanced diet. Okay? And so dietitian Nee is joining us to make this happen. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
How are we doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, and
Awesome.
you?
Blessed, 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 blessed. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now, let's get right into it. It's important, except that before we start the very layered conversation of this topic, I personally wouldn't have thought that during the rainy season there is a reason to be worried about food safety. Maybe food safety in the sense that maybe we'll not have access to food as soon as we need it because of, again, over here in Ghana, there's flooding and all of that. So you might not be able to go out when you want to go out. But really, when it comes to food safety in terms of preservation, I never thought it was a problem. So thank God we get to have this conversation now. Now, what are some of the common food safety risks people face during the rainy season?
Okay, so first of all your listeners,
Thank
I
you.
want to say that first of all, we need to clarify some. I mean, we need to distinguish between the two things: the food security and the food safety.
Yes.
Both of, I mean, both issues happen during rainy season, flooding season. We can have food insecurity where people cannot get access to adequate amounts of food.
Yeah.
That is healthy and safety and all and safe and all that. Then also within the same flooding and rainy season, we can also experience the food safety issues where people would have food safety risk like cholera, typhoid, dysentery, and other foodborne and waterborne issues, usually during this time. And I think Ghana Health Service has given us a green, not a green light, a red light to say that they know that we may be at risk of cholera and typhoid during this season.
Interesting. So these are some of the things people should be careful about this season.
Yeah.
Now, how does the rainy weather affect food storage and preservation?
Yeah, so I would say that Ghana, we our let me say our food network is quite, we have a lot of issues right from the farm to the storage system or even to the table, right? So what I would say is that we can have issues at different parts, right? If we have too much rains can destroy our plants. some plants can stand huge amounts of rains. And you know that recently the president said that Ghana has recorded the highest amount of rains per day, right? And so you
Yeah.
can see that some farmers could have their crops destroyed. At the same time, you know that our road networks in Ghana, it's not in good shape. I wouldn't say bad because we may be doing well better than other countries, but I would say it's not in a good shape. So transportation will be a problem. The number of hours a driver will spend to transport some food from the village to the city will take more days. Their car will get spoiled. They have to change tires. They have to check the car for some time. During this process, if the food is not stored under a certain good condition, it will get spoiled. So let's talk about the perishable ones and non-perishable ones. Even the normal non-perishable ones can also get destroyed. But the fruits and vegetables, they can't sit on water for a longer time. An example, some of our storage systems some of our transportation systems that we have in Ghana are not the cold storage ones, right? Where they are being stored and covered in certain temperatures. So the fruits and vegetables will have direct contact with water. You know what water does to food? When there's so much water as part of food, then there is bacteria begin to form and other things. So food will get spoiled. Beyond the transportation, we don't really have good storage systems in our country where we have like good silos and good warehouses that keep food for long. We don't really have those things. Back then, I know that Nkrumah gave us some nice warehouse, but Ghana in our maintenance culture and change the government, people have their own focus to leave other things. And it's very unfortunate that most of the governments that come into power do not really look at food safety and food security, right? Where we need to store food for certain years, and it's very sad. It's very sad in the sense where that if we begin to experience food shortage and countries begin to reduce the amount of food they export, Ghana may be in trouble.
Yeah.
But all the same, I like the fact that we have some able, our Greek ministers that we have, the deputy and the main minister are looking to that. I've seen a lot of good works by Dumelo in terms of making sure that we have good amounts of food in our country. But beyond that, I think the food safety side is what we have to talk about today. Since we are having a lot of flooding, people's houses are being flooded, and very unfortunately, we see some people's houses, some people's gas stove being carried away. So people will not be cooking now.
You're right. Now, so it's very important for us to make sure that whatever it is that we have at home, they're safe. Now, what are the best ways to prevent food contamination at home?
Yeah. So one major thing that leads to food contamination is food handling, how we handle food with our hands, right? I'll talk about it from the home and to the street side because not all of us that we eat from home. So from the home, if we don't really wash our fruits and vegetables properly, so when you buy them from town, if you don't wash them properly and store them under good hygienic conditions and at good temperatures, then we have some contamination in there. If we don't store them at the right temperatures, especially the proteins, right, would also have some contamination in there. Then also we call something cross contamination, right? So you see most of our proteins, right, they can have some bacteria on them. And if you are arranging your proteins in the fridge, we will advise that the vegetables and fruits that do not have water dripping from them should go to the top so that the fish that usually and the meat that usually have water around them will be at the base. If you do it the opposite way, realize that the water from the fish and the protein will drop it onto the vegetables. And if you don't keep them safe, then you're going to contaminate them with some bacteria moving from the proteins from the top of the fridge to the base where most of the times we have ready to eat food or fresh food like fruits and vegetables over there. This is something that usually happens in the home. That's beyond storage, beyond how we keep our food and all that. Then the other thing too that I'll talk about from the street side is that we need to buy from. There are some red flags. Some of the food vendors do not cover their food.
Yeah.
Right. I know I did a video yesterday. I was telling people that when Amelia wants to listen to the latest gossip, when she after dishing out the food, she even forget that she has to cover the watching. Right. So what happens here is this: it's realized that flies, dust, and other things will settle in the food, and the food gets contaminated. Sometimes some of the food people, the people that sell our food, they wouldn't wear hand gloves to even fetch or let's say dish out the macaroni, the spaghetti, the gari, the other things that we add to our meal. They use their raw hands, right? And sometimes, see, what happens is that the raw hands that they used to pick the thing, you see, because there's some moisture on their hands, that they'll use it to clean their apron. When you look at the apron kind is full of dust. So then they bring their same hand back to tie the food. What happens is that they contaminate the food for us. And I'll say that us in Ghana, it's only God that keeps us. Because if we want to look at the food safety issues in Ghana, Charlie, we'll all be hospitalized.
Right, right. Now, in this case, people will now start asking the very important questions like, what kind of food spoil quickly during the rainy season? Because I noticed that, and I'll give this example. When I was in the UK, I noticed that I prepared jollof and it was there for like a whole day. Like after preparing, say I prepared it yesterday, I kept it for a whole day without warming it because it wasn't intentional. I just wasn't at home, and I left it there. I came back and the food was intact. So I asked my sister, no, my jollof seems to be very intact. And she told me, oh, it's because the weather is cold over here. Ediani is in term because of that. So people keep their dishes on the stove for maybe a few days. You don't have to put it in the fridge. Unless, of course, it's one that will definitely go bad no matter what the weather is. So I'm asking this question in relation to that. Now that the weather is cold, there are certain dishes that people might want to behave like, the people living outside, to not put them in the fridges. Which of the dishes or what kinds of dishes, spoil quickly during the season?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say only this season, but usually foods that are contain water, right? It's humid or like has some moisture in them. The rate at which you get spot is very fast. Let's look at a food like rice and take like dry fish. Because there's no water in dry fish, it keeps long,
Yeah.
right? So I realize that the Kobe can stay for weeks, for months, and still looks the same Kobe that we know. But let's put rice that has water inside. First, on that shit. Within some few times, it's getting spot. Or just take the dry rice out, the dry rice and cook rice. Dry rice will stay in the bag for longer days. But if water gets into it or you start cooking it, realize that within a few hours or days, then you start seeing molds and other things forming on it. This means that water changes the longevity of food, right? So if there's moisture inside, then it's going to cause trouble. So what I would say is that this season, if we have any food that has moisture in them, please, like moisture could be like in good amount of like moisture, because some dry foods may have a little amount of moisture, but it's not significant like that if you go for the lab analysis. But the ones that have a significant amount of moisture inside that usually is visible and other things would lead to fast spillage of our food. So what I'll say is that whether the weather is cold or not, and our cold weather in Ghana is not like the cold weather outside the country.
Yeah, yeah,
Ours is just a normal, it's like a normal AC blowing, right?
yeah.
So yeah, so what I'll say is that we need to store our food well. Make sure that you keep it in the fridge. If it's supposed to be in the fridge, let it be in the fridge. If it's supposed to be in the room temperature, let it be in the room temperature around aerated place where there's air and all that, and that will be good.
This one is also very, very important to me because again, I noticed that when the weather is cold, you don't feel like eating, early. Well, that's just me, or maybe it's just me. But what kind
Yeah.
of what advice would you give in terms of healthy eating habits people should inculcate into their daily life?
Yeah, so you see, the rainy season is the time that we have risks of flu, cold, cough, and all that because the air is very humid, and that humid air usually some bacteria thrive in that environment and could lead to some of these similar infections I'm seeing right now. So it's very important that we take what we call the rich antioxidants that are going to boost our immune system more. And just to say, what I would say is this: there's some basic things we can do. Is drinking a lot of herbal teas. Okay, so if you want to go for the rich level, you can go the green tea, you can go the green tea, you can go the cinnamon tea, chamomile, spearmint. Yes, those bougie ones. But if you want to go to the normal life, like me and my kweku in my own house, we have lemongrass tea. I have a lemongrass tea in my house. I just cut it, boil water, add it to it. You can do cloves, you can do cinnamon. If you have some herbal roots that it's standardized or it's healthy, you can just boil them. Some of these things I just mentioned, these herbs and spices, contain rich amounts of antioxidants that can boost your immune system.
Okay.
Some also what you can also take is fruit. So if you can't go for the teas, you can do some fruit. Example, you can put lemon into water, warm water, not cold water, warm water, and drink it. The vitamin C inside can also help boost your immune system. So lemon is one. You can do ginger. Ginger, you can also grate ginger or squeeze the ginger, like crush it, take the juice out of it and put it in water. Having garlic and lemon could also be a good morning capsule and drink to take in the morning, and that could also boost your immune system. Those are the ones. And fruits, right? So Ghanaian, like most of the studies that we've done in Ghana, I don't start to correct. I know it's a fact that we don't take a lot of fruits. It's not our fault. I don't know how, because the prices are quite exorbitant and all that. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when you buy the fruit and bring it home, it doesn't even keep long and it gets spoiled. So people don't tend to eat a lot of fruit. But this season should be a time we need to really go back to eating fruit at least once a day. If you can have, something like this, yes, on the screen you can have like your lemon, okay, with a little peppermint, or probably this mint leaf, right? And this some of these things, it doesn't take a lot of money from you, right? It doesn't take a lot of money. This is simple healthy living at a lower cost. You don't have to go and take a lot of supplements that's it's expensive to boost your immune system. How much is lemon? Lemon can be like 2 cities. You can juice them, right? How much is cinnamon? Cinnamon is like 5 cities. You can use it for a whole week or 2 weeks and all that. So the 5 cities is for immune boosting for 5 cities for 5 weeks, or for more than 2 weeks. But if you want to go for the supplements could be around 350, 450, 550. Those are expensive, but these are the local and very simple and very affordable ways that we can boost our immune system
Yeah.
during this rainy season.
Awesome. Now, for my street food lovers, yeah, what advice do you have for them?
Charlie, so my street food lovers are Charlie. Those are my guys, right? So what I'll say is that I know that Davi Copper will be your plug this time, but please buy from trusted sources. It's very important. So trusted sources that you know that they prepare their food under high hygienic conditions. They make sure that they wash their items. They don't see flies at their kitchen and all that. That could be the first thing. The other thing is that when the food arrives, please don't be in haste to eat. We know you're hungry, but wait, look at the presentation of food. Is the taste? Look at the taste, the smell, the appearance. Does it have any funny signs? Do you doubt the food that is getting spoiled? Please, if you doubt it, then please treat that way, because you see, if you want to treat cholera and typhoid, you spend more money than the 20 cities that you have.
Yeah.
So please treat the bad than food. The other thing too, I also say is that buy from vendors that make sure that they serve hot food.
Mm.
So you see, make sure that the vendors you buy from are freshly prepared food. The
Yes.
foods are served hot. Please,
Yes.
it's very important. That is why I would say that if you are ordering online, please know the vendors. Some of the vendors that we know, I know some vendors that will start using rainwater to cook, because water is expensive now in certain areas, and these people will not boil the water. So when they just get the water from the zinc, and from the roofing. Then they will just let it settle for some time. They may not put any alarm inside. They'll just fill the top of it. But Charlie, some of these things can cause a lot of harm. So
Mm.
make sure that the vendors you're ordering from online, you know them. Sometimes I tell my friends that the vendors, if you eat from a vendor like 1 or 2 times, you like it, please visit those places. Look at how the places, then you can continue. So these are some of the things I would say. And please, what I also say is that whatever we buy, we are using our money to buy. So don't say that, oh, this vendor is good, or that's my auntie's. Please, if your auntie sells food that has a lot of flies around it, don't go buy it. If you are sick and you die today, your auntie will not follow you. So it's very important that we need to be responsible this time. Make sure that we eat from good vendors, or vendors that are very responsible. And as customers too, we have a responsibility to make sure that we choose the right vendor. Look at the presentation of the food, and we'll live healthy during these flooding times.
Thank you very much, Dietitian Nee, for joining us this morning for this very all-important conversation. Someone is listening to you today and they want you to design a plan for them as they're trying to navigate different journeys, whether it's losing weight, gaining weight, or just eating healthy. How do we connect with you?
Yeah, so first of all, you can follow me on my social media handles. It's dietitian Nee. So Nee is the Ghana word, and double I. Just follow me on social media handles. I share a lot of tips. So if you don't can't afford our services, one place to get free tips is our page. So you have to follow us and all that. Then also you can call me, or you can WhatsApp me. So WhatsApp is very important. Don't even call. Don't worry to call. Just WhatsApp us. We'll call you ourselves. So it's 020 933 0918. So 020 933 0918. Then also save our number, because sometimes we do 50% discounts for all our customers. So that means there are certain times that we give 50% for all our services. So please keep the number on your phone. Always, you can also text us to find out. Also, we also sell supplements too. So if you want to, you have somebody who cannot eat much, but you want to supplement your diet with other good dietary supplements, you can always text us. We can give you some recommendations,
Thank you
and yeah, so
so
that will all help.
awesome. Thank you so much, Dietitian Nee. I really appreciate your time. spent with us this morning. We will try to be safer than we were last year, and we'll meet again.
Okay,
Alrighty.
thank you.
Now, thank you all so much for staying right here as we keep learning and growing together. It's also very important for us to keep these, lessons we're picking from here. We need to take them seriously, guys. It's very, very important. We need you alive and healthy, even after all these rains and all its, issues it's coming with. So please stay safe, eat well, eat healthy, make sure you're taken care of, and we'll see you. Well, there's more coming up here on the show. Stay right here with us. We'll be right back after this.